In this talk series, we first focused on COVID, natural disasters, and the purpose of a human being. Second, we focused on the topic of myself, my master, and the message. Third, we looked at real and unreal in evolution. In the last topic, we looked at the message of truth and stressed the importance of this message to help us with our human life. So far, in this talk series, we have learned why COVID and natural disasters are impacting the humanity. We looked at how much of that I-ego we developed in human life is impacting the evolution. We looked at evolution from our origin to the end. We looked at what were we before the human birth and what is there for us after death. We also looked at godly character will solve all the problems our humanity is facing today, and now is the time to look at it closely. We equated supreme consciousness to God in our discussions before. If that God descends from the heaven into a human body to lead a life on earth, these are the ripe personalities God will exhibit. These ripe personalities are detachment and pure love. The methods my master proposes describing these godly personalities can be followed by anyone belonging to any religion, caste, creed, nation, society, or even for that matter, atheists and agnostics. These are the traits even the enlightened ones appeared as human has experienced and exhibited. Though there were many spiritual practices advocated by enlightened in the past to preach the truth in the form of faith or practice or religion, many followers and preachers of today have invented new practices, ideologies, divisions and differences which is not helping humans to excel in their spiritual journey. The personality advocated by my master has twofold advantages. One is making the aspirant practicing this personality to be a lovable, cheerful, and acceptable person by anyone. Other one is to make the aspirant attain spiritual gains with moksha or mukti, which is a state of existence after human life. Moksha is a intermediary state of remaining as an angel in heavens, and mukti is the final state in spiritual progress, which is a merger with God or supreme consciousness. Both progresses are better stature in evolutionary life after leaving the human body. I would presume now that a person who is following the methods I'm going to relay here is an aspirant. This aspirant can also be addressed as truth seeker or spiritual seeker because he or she is going beyond the temporary existence of human life and looking for what is next after human life. Before I talk about my master's methods of personality changes, if a person agrees and accepts, the nature's retaliatory actions are intended for correcting the human habits, and if a person accepts the evolutionary plan for lives on earth as we discussed before, and if a person has willingness to change their existing lifestyle mindset to follow the methods proposed here, here is the great consolation for you. You have already crossed 50% of nature's consideration for sparing you and gladly accepts you as a candidate for blessing. Remember that honesty of acceptance is surely judged and measured by nature, and we cannot cheat the nature. What you are going to listen and follow will enhance the remaining 50% of efforts and align you with the nature's will. To rid the I-ego and elevate to the state of godliness or supreme consciousness, what we have to do is, in all our mental and physical actions, we should apply the two baseline personalities of detachment and pure love. Let us first look at what we mean by detachment. As soon as we talk about detachment, generally people think of renouncement, loneliness, disinterest, letting others suffer. That is absolutely not what we mean. Please await patiently and listen to the concept of detachment, which my master explains. First, let us look at detachment in outcomes of our own actions and inactions. Every human indulges in their daily duties to fulfill his or her lifetime responsibilities as a mother, father, son, daughter, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, grandparent, friend, colleague, social member, or any association in life. While performing these duties, the outcome experiences happiness or sadness, pleasant or horrible, entertainment or boredom, fun or frustration, cheerful or moody, convenience or inconvenience, and so on. These outcomes are the results of our own actions and inactions. Some turn out that way due to our intentional actions or unintentional actions. Some turn out that way due to others' actions. Some turn out that way due to our inactions. If that outcome happens to be happiness, our nature is to love that moment and be delighted about it. If that outcome happens to be sadness, we will start looking for reasons, blames, and accusations. What we mean by detachment is stay detached from these outcomes. Our duty should be to perform the service. Aspirants should not be looking for return results. Aspirants should not waver with these outcomes. Aspirants should not fear or find reasons to remain uninvolved. Aspirants should still undertake full efforts sincerely and continue performing duties. This action of showing insignificance to the results is called detachment. Detachment does not mean leaving responsibilities in life or living a life of abstinence and not engaging with the world. Second, let us look at the detachment from the presence of everything and the detachment from the absence of everything. Aspirants should be insensible to both presence of things and absence of things, presence of relationships and absence of relationships, presence of events and absence of events. This feeling of insensibility enables the aspirant to shine with detachment attitude. Detachment as an attitude will make an aspirant to remain indifferent to comforts and discomforts. To understand it better, let me cite an example. Anyone will have desires after getting the first salary to acquire best cell phone, luxurious automobile for transport, beautiful or handsome spouse, palatial comfortable house, and so on as their expectation. General human nature is to have the best in possessions, best in appearance, achieve the best, and display the style of living to impress others of their accomplishment or to satisfy themselves that they have the best. In this approach, vast attachment is present. If we look at the phone as a means to communicate, automobile as a means to transport from point A to point B, house as a place to live, union with a spouse to share love and care, and to serve others together, then we don't need the pomp and splendor to impress anyone. Refraining from these attachment is what is detachment. Other examples I could cite in our day-to-day life to refrain from is I am used to the morning coffee and watching news, and I cannot live without it. I am used to the taste of my spouse cooking dinner for me, and I don't like any other taste. I will miss if my spouse is gone for a week for an official trip. My child is so dear to me and don't want him or her to leave me and go anywhere. I still want to have this entertainment today, though there is an emergency situation for my friend. I have to watch the sports event in TV and cannot tolerate the power cut. I am used to the convenience of ride in my car and cannot switch to public transport. Likewise, there are so many events and things we attach to in life. We don't adjust to the situation and feel the absence as a miss and presence as our birthright. Attachment can be seen in both with the presence and absence of things, events, relationships, situations, etc. We should refrain from both presence and absence. Thirdly, we should look at detachment from bondage to accomplishment. Many of them has a sense of accomplishment due to their ideas and actions. They think they are the reason for the family to survive. They are the reason for others to survive. They are the sole reason for his or her team to fare well in the office. They are the reason to solve the problems. They are the reason for the new opportunities. All these feelings have attachment, and aspirants should refrain from this bondage to accomplishment. Fourthly, we should look at detachment from bondage to creation. Right from our birth, there are so many things in creation we enjoy. They are relationships, pets, house, clothes, cars, vacation places, cities, rivers, mountains, trees, scenic places, and so much more. We all become nostalgic and recap those moments and boast to friends and family. These experiences are due to our own attachment. Aspirants should not get attached to all these worldly creation and worldly benefits. Aspirants should get detached from all such things. Fifthly, we should refrain from worrying over the losses of assets and things. Another important thing to remember is when things are taken away from the aspirant due to some challenging life situations, say financial hardships or disasters, like losing the car or losing the home, it should not frighten the aspirant. Aspirant should be readily accepting this change and utilize the alternative means of transport like public transport or walk. Aspirants should not create liking for such things and crave for the loss of things. Aspirants should readily accept a smaller house or a rental house if the previously owned magnificent house is taken away. Aspirants should not be disturbed or deterred or lose hope when such losses occur in life. Loss of anything should not reflect in aspirants' emotions. The mind should be in a balanced state with things arriving at him or her as well as when things are taken away from him or her. Sixthly, we attach to the wealth and keep on chasing it whether we are poor or rich. Poor wants to get richer and richer wants to become more richer. Pursuit of wealth never ends due to attachments. Many of them assume the status of life is measured with accumulation of wealth because rich enjoy some privileges. Rich can become famous. Rich can make easy friends. Rich can commit offenses and get away. Rich will be praised. Rich can manipulate their faults. Many wants to get satisfaction in showing off their wealth to impress others. Many feels wealth is the power. Wealth makes them remain in the limelight. In all these displays of pomp and splendor, huge attachment is present. An aspirant should remain detached from wealth and still can work on accumulation of wealth. That is possible by sincerely carrying out his or her duties without profit as a motive, but with service as a motive. Seventhly, we attach to benefits while carrying out our duties in life. Aspirants should know that the reason for human life is to complete his or her duties. Aspirants should not get attached to benefits arising out of worldly duties. To quote few examples, parents, as per the duties of their life, should give their best to raise the children until they reach adulthood. As the parents get old, the onus is on children to serve the needs of parents. However, parents should not serve children with the expectation of children to take care of them later. Parents should not be attached to the benefits arising out of their worldly duties. At the same time, children have moral responsibility to take care of old parents needing assistance. It is the duty of children to take care of parents. Eighthly, we behave irrational due to affection. Affection is born out of attachment. If we analyze deeply the difference between attachment and detachment, we will find due to attachment to things, relationship, wealth, and incidents, we go irrational. We don't display honesty. We quash the righteousness and we blunt the justice. We defend relations due to affection and protect them even if they are insanely wrong. We are ready to earn wealth by any means, and give up our morality. We are ready to lie to save our image. We manipulate situations to gain mental or physical satisfaction. We discard the facts to conveniently conclude the happenings in our favor or opinion or ideology. We are ignoring the right over wrong. We are ignoring the moral values. We are ignoring the decency. We are ignoring the facts, and so on. We also defend the relations with anger, aggravation, revenge, blame, and all unethical behaviors. At the same time, staying detached from relations, wealth, and incidents, and serving our duties to dispense our roles in the society brings us the satisfaction of accomplishment. In the character of detachment, there is a patience ingrained in it for us to handle the situation rightly. Showing affection to relations has inherent attachment and can make one go irrational. Instead, we should handle relationships lovingly by carrying out our duties and responsibilities without submitting to affection. We can avoid attachment and remain sane with rational behavior. These are some of the cues I have taken from my master's spiritual discourses and summarized it here. I hope with these fine descriptions, people can correlate their life situations to use this detachment template and follow the first baseline personality of detachment. Let us now move on to another baseline personality called pure love. Generally, love itself is pure, and why do we add the prefix pure? It is because any action performed with love which has return expectations or preconditions are not pure. Love should never have a return expectation, and it should be unconditional. This purity should be deeply present in our hearts and should be a permanent character of the aspirant. This character should be displayed in all actions and thoughts. This is the reason we attach the prefix word pure to the love. This pure love should be exhibited to everyone, every being, and everything around. A lot of us today, when we show love, we expect similar love from others. Aspirants should not have any expectation of love returns. Aspirants' duty is to love, give love always, and should not worry for the return of love. Aspirants' love should have the quality of completeness. This love, quality of completeness, will shut down the wavering nature in love due to fear or taboo or expectation of tangible returns. Also, love has no limit. It can equal the infinity. Love is an infinite treasure. One displaying the love can keep giving love endlessly without any stop or limits. As humans, we put a stop or barriers or conditions to display such love and fix a boundary. With this limitless pure love, we will befriend even a thickest enemy of our lives. We will befriend the citizens of enemy country. We will apologize even if we are not at fault. We will forgive the ones falsely accusing us. We will forgive the ones impacting us with their mistakes. We will believe even the ones manipulating us. We will have an attitude of giving everything what we have. We will remain compassionate. We will melt to see others cry. In general, in all this exhibition of love, we will remain in a joy of giving love. This limitless love also will make us not to fall prey to anger, curse, revenge, manipulations, and any such evil acts. This limitless love will enable us to ignore the disturbance and pain to our body senses like smell, taste, noise, touch. With this limitless love, we should resolutely dispense our duties towards family, relations, friends, and society. Because we love the family, religion, science, creed, groups, nation, ideals, we correlate every action in our life with bias, and this causes us to undertake actions unlovingly to the other side. we claim us to be on the justice side without hearing the other side's story. Our rational thoughts can be glorified only with pure love. Pure love does not have any selectivity, it has inclusivity. Our purity of love should overcome the biases and serve our duties to the family, society, and people. Pure love should not hold any biased views on any single person or group or society. If one looks at the word selfless action, there are two personality attributes needed to comply with 100% of selflessness. One is not being selfish before the thoughts or action is initiated. For that, detachment personality is needed. To validate or prove the selflessness, the second personality is needed, which is pure love. Pure love is an important trait which enables one to be involved and engaged in activity. Detachment enables one to be selfless, but the selflessness can be proved only by engaging in activity. To engage in activity, one needs to have the personality of pure love. If you note carefully, pure love personality enables the aspirant to engage in activities. At the same time, aspirant can remain selfless only due to detachment. So we can say detachment personality foments the activity, pure love personality implements the activity. So detachment and pure love are two sides of the same coin. Pure love is possible only with detachment, and detachment is possible only with pure love. Let us discuss more of this twin personality working together all the time and validate it further. Because these two personalities are intertwined while exhibiting it through all our thoughts and actions, we are calling it baseline personalities. These baseline personalities are mandatorily required before we proceed with the next discussion of other godly characters needed for self-realization. Detachment and pure love should be observed like we have two eyes. Without these two characters, in all thoughts, speech, and action, one cannot be stimulated to enter into supreme consciousness, no matter whatever faith or spiritual practices like meditation, worship, prayers are performed. Lord Krishna had these. Lord Buddha, Lord Mahavir Jain, Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad, Baba Guru Nanak, and many more enlightened had these two baseline characters. By having these two baseline characters and by following the practices they preached, they attained that supreme state. Lord Krishna led his life by observing these two characters fundamentally in all thoughts and actions. Lord Buddha had these baseline characters which triggered his spiritual actions of renouncement and meditation. Lord Mahavir Jain had these two baseline characters for him to practice and teach vows for non-violence, truth, non-stealing, and chastity in human life. Jesus Christ observed these two baseline characters all his life and served the people to relay the holy message from God. Prophet Muhammad had these underlying personalities in his devotion for Allah to receive the messages of truth. Baba Guru Nanak had these baseline characters of detachment and pure love, which enable him to indulge in meditation, devotion, truthful living, and service. All 63 Nayanmars in Shaivism portion of Hinduism who are devoted to Lord Shiva attain their supreme state with these two baseline characters. All 12 Alvars in Vaishnavism portion of Hinduism who are devoted to Lord Vishnu attain the supreme state with these two baseline characters. Every known and untold enlightened monks observed these two baseline characters to trigger them with their spiritual actions to attain their supreme state. Even God follows these characters 100% of the time to remain qualified as God. We already stated that God is not an individual or image or a form. It is the supreme consciousness having godly characters, and those characters are detachment and pure love. Even angels are trying to embrace these two characters to excel in their goal of merging with supreme consciousness. Even nature is embracing these characters. We mention nature is fueled by supreme consciousness and observes this personality of detachment and pure love. To supplement this view, let us look at nature, how it is serving us. In nature, sun rays, wind, oxygen, water is naturally available in earth for every being. All the 7.5 billion people on earth and other species can be served with food, shelter, and other essentials to live by the nature. It is only us who brought the layer of economics and created the divide of haves and have-nots by serving the haves and challenging the have-nots. Unlike the economic system we humans have created, nature does not choose rich, poor, good, bad, or evil humans in earth to offer its service. Nature does not deprive bad species in the wild. It is us who are invading the forest and taking away the lives in the wild, which is living with freedom. Nature allows earth resources for everyone. In order to serve people and all living species in earth, nature inherits the character of pure love to serve and detachment from choosing only the favorite ones to serve. Imagine if the nature failed to follow these two baseline personalities and chooses the good in its judgment to serve, many earth species and many humans would have been eliminated. With pure love, we should accept the supreme consciousness. With detachment, we should avoid human-aware consciousness. In actuality, these two baseline characters are one. While serving with pure love, detachment character plays an implicit role. While serving with detachment, that service is performed due to pure love. That is, to give anything one possesses, one should have the love of giving it to someone and have the detachment from that possession. I will restate this again to reiterate the point. Detachment and pure love works together, and it means the same if one takes a deeper look. To give anything one possesses, one should have the love of giving it to someone and have the detachment from that possession. In that love of giving, one should not have expectation or any return exchanges. But for our understanding purpose, my master splits these two personalities and says both must be equally followed and calls it as two baseline personalities before any other personality we are going to see next in this talk series. These two baseline personalities are not optional and both are mandatory and need to be followed. While dispensing the duties towards family, profession, society, or anywhere as the situation demands, the I ego in humans develop emotions, affections, self-image, self-boasting, and seek public attention. One does not notice the prominent play of I ego he or she indulges in with the feel of me, the feel of mine, the feel of it is my right, the feel of objects, events, and people related to me, the feel of it is worthy for me, the feel of I did it, I am the reason, I am the best, I achieved it, I donated it, I won it, and so on. This attitude of I ego is born out of attachment. There are only two ways of ridding the I ego, and both are mandatory and not optional. First way is aspirant should control and remove the feelings towards the worldly things and lead a life like a wooden log without attachment to anything. Aspirant should realize that he or she cannot take those attachments with him or her while leaving the human body. These attachments will contribute to desires after human life, which will become the reason for an aspirant to reappear. This state of mind can be achieved by embracing the detachment personality. Aspirant should train his or her mind to accept with the presence of things, relationships, and events he or she is fine. Aspirant should also accept that without presence of things, relationships, and events, he or she is still fine. When aspirant lives with this feeling, aspirant will tend to ignore the I feeling he or she possesses. Many of us, on the name of detachment, will get into inaction and will fail to do our duties. That is not right as well. To avoid that, aspirant should follow the second way. That second way is aspirant should have a feeling, everyone is mine. I am responsible for everything. I am the reason for everything. This attitude will allow aspirant to serve the people, other beings, and environment. This attitude is possible only with pure love personality, which inherently has the quality of no expectations and preconditions. By embracing these two baseline personalities of detachment and pure love, aspirant eliminates the I ego and also burns the karma which stimulates another human life. The intensity of these characters will even take the aspirant to high state of angelic life or further beyond. To stress the importance of detachment and pure love, let us also look at simple living concept. Simple living serves the aspirant and enables him or her to share the excesses with the needy. Aspirant should opt for a functional life which serves his or her needs. When aspirant buys anything, he or she should observe simplicity and seek an answer honestly to these questions. Can't I live without it? Can I live with the alternate thing which is already present with me? Is this beyond my reach? By honest self-introspection, if the aspirant answers no to these three questions, then the aspirant should buy that thing. Aspirant should lead a life of simplicity despite the possession of wealth through his or her earnings or through his or her inheritance. This simplicity approach will eventually land the aspirant in the state of detachment and pure love. Proportionate to aspirant's lifestyle in terms of wealth, relationship, responsibilities, aspirant should lead a life avoiding extravagance. Everyone is born in their capacity as per his or her past desires, deeds, and misdeeds. These desires, deeds, and misdeeds of aspirants are destined as aspirants' fate. As per fate, aspirant is entrusted with duties. So, without denial, aspirant should undertake those duties. That is the only way aspirant can bring the sum of his or her past deeds and misdeeds to zero-sum game in current life. Reaching this zero-sum game is the easiest way to eliminate the karma. Every aspirant's life is ordained with the capacity of life proportionate to the deeds, misdeeds, and desires of the past. If happiness is arriving beyond aspirant's capacity to digest, aspirant should intelligently disregard it. Aspirant should realize that entertaining such happiness will land him or her in unscrupulous desires. Aspirant should not be enthralled with the happiness when some happy moments arrive at him or her. Generally, an ambition develops when desire peaks. When desire peaks for making money, wealth, and properties, aspirant loses his or her acquired livelihood. Aspirants chase it endlessly by falling into the trap of losses, debts, and losing wealth. This is due to the capacity limits nature has set out for the aspirants to lead a life as a human and to retrieve him or her. This is how many aspirants lose the purpose of life in the pursuit of those ambitions. Many aspirants chase their ambitions, falling into this trap and miss their pre-birth intended goal of realizing their self. That is why my master says aspirants need to learn to live by being content. That is possible only with detachment and accepting the life as was given to the aspirant. One will argue that many innovations would not have happened if the ambition is not present. Yes, it is true. But That innovation has happened due to the nature's support and with the will of God's blessing. Such support and blessing will arrive as luck for the deserved aspirant as per their karma. If the aspirant encounters first loss, this aspirant should realize that nature is not supporting and God's blessing is not there. Attempting it second time, third and fourth time and encountering losses is a clear understanding that nature is not in aspirant's favor. With multiple failures, aspirant reaches frustration in life with continuing losses. Hence, attitude of detachment should play a role in aspirant's life as grand understanding when faced with failures. Pure love personality will enable sanity for the distressed aspirant when faced with challenges of this sort. When an aspirant's life is ordained with duties, if the aspirant is developing addictive habits like drinking, smoking, other contrabands, or any other life-impacting habits, aspirant is not sailing in the path fate has set out for him or her. Those addictions will deviate from the commitment aspirant should have towards the role of life as a human. Detachment personality will provide the recourse. Pure love personality will intensify this recourse to make the aspirant sail without addictions. With so much discussed on detachment and pure love personality, if we analyze deeper on what personality of ours impacts the detachment personality, it is our own desires. If we quell the desires, detachment personality will grow. If we also analyze deeper on what personality of ours impacts the pure love personality, it is our feel of enmity. If we quell the feelings of enmity, pure love personality will grow. If we take steps in avoiding the desires and the feeling of enmity, we will automatically embrace the personality of detachment and pure love. Detachment and pure love enables one to give. It enables one to help. It enables one to display selflessness. It enables one to act even at the times of fear and distress. It will display aspirants' outshining character. It will strengthen relationships and trust with people. It will enable the aspirant to be a hero. It will make the aspirant attractive to others. It will make the aspirant to be loved ever. So, these two baseline personalities should be permanently present in aspirant under all situations in life to its completeness. If efforts are taken voluntarily by the aspirant, this will eventually become natural personalities. This should be practiced every day and every moment. Aspirant should review his or her mental and physical actions every day before sleep, whether he or she conform to the detachment and pure love template, and self-introspect for eventual corrections. With so much said about these two baseline personalities as guiding walls for us to tread, or like two eyes present with us, an aspirant should observe other supreme godly characters which we will see in our talk series. These points are the cues I have taken from my master's spiritual talk, and I am honored to relay this message. I sincerely bow to the aspirant for listening and pray for him or her to achieve the detachment and pure love personalities. I pray for such an aspirant to be blessed by God, gurus, and angels. I thank the aspirant for listening. Let us now see the important characters which supplements these two baseline characters of detachment and pure love to achieve the stated goal of reaching the supreme consciousness.